name is ZeBirdBrain and today we are talking about rigging. Today I'm gonna use Ellie because you guys told me you were done with seeing Woo on screen, so you know, green girl's back again. And today we're gonna focus on clothing. More precisely, dresses or sashes, shirts, things that usually need to have like a little rim at the bottom, like either this little skirt or this dress that has a little rim at the end. I'm gonna start with that dress here. So I'm gonna go into my rig and see it. In this rig, I have two options. And this is a work in progress rig, okay? It's not done. It's almost done, but it's not done, okay? So let me show you the two options that I have. The first one is very easy. It is this one, where it's just a dress. And if I use my deformer to show you, it's literally just that I have the shape. It's just one drawing. I used an envelope deformer to faithfully follow the shape of the dress. This is what I love if I have a very specific pose I want to hit, and I will not need Ellie to turn on herself and have like to go from front to profile and stuff and rotate. If she's just there and she has a very specific pose, like this one, when she needs to be on the ground, maybe I want to take the dress and, you know, carefully make a very nice shape with the dress. Like I want precision. So if you have a lot of points on the same drawing, it'll be made like for precision work. Okay, it's not going to be that easy to animate because you see there is a lot of little points to take care of. But like I said, I'm a hand-drawn animator. I like to have control over my drawings. So if she stays into the same angle, I will use this. Will I use it for every scene? No. Will I use it if it's a faraway shot? Of course I won't. Like look at how small these deformers are. Not the best option for everything, but I do know from the storyboards I planned to animate her that this specific way to rig my dress is gonna turn out to be useful. Okay? But I won't spend too much time on it because it is just a drawing with a deformer following the shape. You can do that following this tutorial that I'm gonna put into the description below. Okay, so scratch this one. We're gonna use another dress that I made that is a bit more complicated, and this is like the fundamental to rigging dresses, in my opinion, and in most people's opinion, actually. So what is so special about this system is that it's always made in a minimum of two pieces. You're gonna have the first piece that is just the shape of the dress, like the general shape of the dress, which is just this big triangle. You use this dress that is just a big triangle to make like the general shape of like the side of the dress. This part here, it will be cut by something else. So what will it be cut with? It will be cut by this piece that I have here. In her case, it's a bit more complicated because she has a weird design on her dress. If you have just a little very straight dress, instead of having these little dents in it, you would have more of a easy design. Kind of like what I have here for the skirt, where if I remove all these cutter, you see it's just a little very straight, easy design. But back to this little dress here, it has a dented design and it's gonna go outside of the dress as well, so that when I take this and I move it from left to right, this is how you get kind of the illusion, like I show here, that it's kind of getting into a different angle. And doing this with a peg is so much faster than trying to fake it with deformer. And if I show you here with the top skirt, I'm gonna zoom a little bit, and I go to another angle, I didn't have to create the shape with the deformer, I just have to slide it along the shape. Which means that if she's slightly turning quarter front, but not that much, I just have to take this and slide it. It takes 2 seconds. Trying to do that by moving deformer points would take forever, and it would not move smoothly. Okay, so this is made to have a quick way to go left and right in your rotation. Okay, so how do you do this? It's actually extremely easy. You just take that shape that you made with like the dents and stuff, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna use it to cut the other shape. So here I have my dress shape, and I'm gonna use this little dent shape that I had, and I'm gonna place it under a cutter. So, you know, this is my dress, and I'm gonna just put it under. So I have my dress shape, here I have my dents, and it's just going to eat the dress. Of course, if you have a line, you're gonna have an extra step to have like the line connecting with each other, but now I'm just doing something easy just to show you the basics of it, and it's more about movement. It's about having a piece that cuts the other ones. Then if I have this and I want her to turn a little bit, it's gonna be much easier. So this dress layer here, when I use it on my shapes, it's the one I use to kind of make the general shape of the dress. And then here I have my dents, which has their own deformer. I'm gonna just connect them under here so you see. I have my dents, and then I use these to kind of eat away at the dress. I just use a very broad deformer, like it's not as precise as the one we had before, but I'll be honest, 80% of the time is just fine. And if I need more precision in one scene, I'm just gonna scrap that deformer and maybe make one that is more precise, okay? But most of the time, this is more than enough to do whatever you need. And I didn't believe it at first. I was adamant that I needed very precise deformer, but it just became impossible to manage in animation. So I scratched it, I made these very easy deformers, and it turned out to be so much easier to just give a general flow of the dress. And if I need to move it a little bit, I just take my peg and I move it, and it's just easy to adjust it a little bit. So then again, this dress to get the general shape, and then the other layer just to get the little dents eating it away. And as you can see, it has a lot of like range of motion. Even this little part where she's sitting on the ground, yes, I have it with the deformer version, but I also have like this general shape, and it works as well. So sometimes I don't even need the very precise one. So this is a concept that is very important to get used to because, like I said, it is very common. It is not just me making this up. This is a standard practice in the industry where you can have a shape that's going to eat another one to fake a 3D aspect. And I should have these two connected together. It's going to make it easier to move them around. There we go. Okay? And when you make that piece, the question is, for how long do I need to have the masking drawing? Because in that case, if I show you, I like to keep it at 1.5. So I have my full shape. And then on the side, I have like 2/2 of the shape going outside of the dress. If you want your character to turn full 360 and go to the back, of course it's not gonna work. Because if I take my dress here and I move it completely to go to the back, then I'm gonna need more fabric, right? Because it's not gonna work. So for these cases, what I do is I take my little mask here, and I'm gonna show you by, making it go on top of my cutters just to show you how it goes away. I'm gonna go into my drawing sub view to show you this right here. So in my drawing sub, I have two options. I have the small option, which is just 1.5, and this is more than enough for most of my cases. Like, I was able to do a lot of it. But then if I want her to sometimes turn full 360, then I do have a version that has 2 of the design. Okay, so if I connect this, I'm gonna show you, it means that if I want her to rotate fully, I'm gonna take this larger option, and I'll be able to kind of make it go full circle. The reason why I have 2 drawings and I don't just have this one is because look at how large this bounding box is. Whenever I want to move the dress, I'm gonna have this big of a bounding box. And this is, like I said before, because the drawing goes outside of the dress way too much. So when I have 1.5, it makes the drawing smaller, and it means that when I try to move my dress, it'll be a bit smaller than it was before, and thus easier to kind of understand and move around. Okay? I'm gonna give you more advice on how to mask it and cut it later, because this is a bit more complicated, because there's a pattern and a design and cuts and stuff. But I just wanted to show you like the basic understanding that you very often just need a shape and then another part that's gonna cut it in your animation. This is very, very common. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see you again next time. Goodbye!